What's up, everybody? It is time for another podcast. Last time I had Evan Ito, but this time I have a very special, very beautiful, very talented Isla McTeer.
Hello everybody. If
Oh
you can
my God.
understand my Scottish accent, I hope you don't need to put subtitles on this. I will try
Nah.
and
I
do what's
think
possible.
the consensus is that you have it's Scottish, but it's like you can tell whatever you're saying, you know?
Yeah. I got a comment on my video the other day though that was like really I won't swear, but it was in big capital letters of like, I can't understand what you're effing saying, and I was like, well,
Oh, you can swear on this. This is an unfiltered
okay.
show.
Well, good. Then you need to be able to speak and understand Scottish.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. But I speak okay. I've got kind of like a kind of mid-range Scottish accent where it's not too strong,
Mhm.
but it's strong enough for anyone who's like listening to me to know I'm not like American, I guess, or
Yeah.
English.
So with the thing like about swearing is like your mom doesn't like it at all.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't. My mom really doesn't like swearing. So it's funny.
So it's like
Because I
first
posted
photo.
some stuff
Sorry,
like that.
I was mom. This is
Oh, yeah.
has been swearing.
Yeah,
Because she
I
she watches
posted
a lot
that.
of stuff you do, right?
Yeah, she does. She watches everything that I do. She's so proud. It's so sweet. It's so sweet. So, but because she does that, because she like my mom likes to like sometimes dip in on Twitter.
Yeah.
And so I'll just be sitting there one day, and then on my Twitter there'll just be like hundreds of likes that my mom's just gone back through my page and just liked everything. She doesn't know about anime, doesn't really understand it.
Yeah,
But you know, she's
for sure.
fully supportive, so she'll just
Like
like
every
it anyway.
parent.
She's a good parent. She's a good parent.
Yeah.
It's funny because when my Gretzko video blew up, which is like 100k now, which
Yeah,
is
it's
like my most
crazy, man.
successful video.
It's crazy.
I know, right? I never thought I'd get a video that would do that well. And she was like so proud of it. She was like posting it everywhere, and I was like, "Mom, no one knows what a Gretzko is. Only people who like anime.
Yeah,
know
only
what
people who like
Gretzko is."
anime and who also have Netflix know what it is.
I know. But she was posting on her Facebook and stuff, and I was like, "Oh, Mom, no one's really gonna care." But I
It
like,
is
really
interesting.
appreciate you
We're
doing
like,
it.
you know, a franchise who is known for Hello Kitty made a Gretzko where it's like
Yeah.
the total opposite of its super, you know,
a
hardcore
Gretzko-
metal.
Gretzko is brilliant though.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I my only slight gripe with Gretzko, which I said in my video, was like, oh, I really wish it was just a little bit longer. I wish there could be more episodes because it was just so good. I really enjoyed it. And for like a kind of really short form anime, the general consensus in like the anime community is that people don't really like shorts because I don't know why. I don't know why people don't like short form anime because I think it's great. There's a lot of really good tiny little episodic shorts, and there's always a couple released every season. But with a Gretzko, it was the perfect length, like 15 minutes long for an episode, perfect. My only thing was like, I just wish there was more of it because it was really good. But we're getting a second season, so that's exciting.
Oh yeah, that
very
is exciting.
It's really good. I'm really looking forward to it. But I don't think that'll be till like next year. I just wish Netflix would start, you know, when they bought stuff, I wish they'd just simulcast it. That's my only real gripe with
Yeah,
Netflix.
well, I mean, there is news about Mob Psycho coming out this January,
Yeah.
so I'm super excited
Yeah.
about that.
That's going to be amazing. I love Mob Psycho 100.
Yeah.
I didn't like the live action that they just
No,
did.
no, no,
Netflix action. But Mob Psycho, because you can't do that with like Mob Psycho 100. It's
It's
so visually.
so that's a
beautiful.
really good question I always wanted to ask you. It's like when Japan does like a live action, it's like pretty
Yeah.
decent. But when America
Yeah.
always tries to do it, it's just they always fall short somehow. Well, it's like
I know they always do. They always do. Although weirdly, that live action was Japanese. It was done by Japan. But
Yeah.
the issue was two reasons. One, it's a televised Japanese live action, so you have the budget compared to movies.
What is
And
it?
secondly, as well, like you just can't. There's some things you just can't adapt into a
Yeah.
live action.
Yeah.
And one of them is Mob Psycho 100. Because if you look at that anime,
it is so animated.
The whole point of it's so visually.
Yeah, it is so animated.
It's so animated that there's just nothing you can do to make it live action. Like the best live action stuff like out of Japan or out of the West or whatever, although the
Mhm.
West has never made a good live action, so let's just take that out. But the best live action out of Japan is anything in the slice of life genre, because
like
you can make that
drama-esque,
a live
yeah.
action. Yeah, you can make that a live action. You can't
Yeah.
take Full Metal Alchemist and make it into a movie. Like
No.
you just can't do it. It's like 74 episodes long. You cannot do that with something as massive as
Yeah,
Full Metal Alchemist.
like there was
and obviously the definite long rubbish.
there was the live action of have you heard of the series like Love Is Like After the Rain? No, actually, I think you do know.
Yes, I have.
Love
I
that
have
series. It's a great series. And like
Yeah.
they have a live
Is
action.
that after the rain? Is that
Yeah.
is that after the rain?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the full
love that.
title is like Love is like After the Rain or something like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
they have a live action in Japan too. It's like I saw like clips of it, and they even have like a
Yeah.
song for it, and like that song is really good. But
That's beautiful.
the thing is like it actually looks really good, and it makes sense if it works because it is a really like just a romance series where it's like it can work well with a live action. Where it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
it's just normal people, you know.
Exactly. If you look at After the Rain as the anime, you can
Yeah.
totally see how you could make that live action, like how they've done that, which is amazing. And you can. My gripe with live action has always been, and it will always be, is the anime not good enough then? Because why are you making a live action? What's the point? If the story has been told in an animated form, is there any point in telling it in a live action format?
I think
If you can't,
the only time
don't
the only time I think it's like they make a live action is maybe they're trying to go to a broader audience because now it's
Yeah.
not anime in a sense.
Yeah. No, I get that. I just because I'm such a big anime fan, I'm like, are you trying to tell me the anime is not good enough?
Yeah,
Is that what
for
you're trying to
sure.
say?
Because Love Like After the Rain, that art style and animation, whew, that was good stuff.
After the Rain was great. After the Rain was one of my favorite shows from. Was it Winter?
I think it was
Was it
Winter.
Winter?
Yes, Winter.
Was it Winter? My God,
Yes.
wait.
Yes, it was Winter.
Winter 2018. Yeah, that was
Yes.
one of my favorites.
That was a
from
very
that
good
winter
one.
season. Yeah, it was just really beautiful to watch, and it was like a love story, but personally for me, I wasn't really rooting for the two characters to get together.
No, I wasn't at all.
Loved how they were growing. Yeah, I loved how they were growing as people, and that was lovely. And it was how they both kind of realized things about themselves, and the voice acting was really good.
Yeah.
and it was quite funny, and it was gorgeous, like all the rain scenes
Yeah,
and stuff.
for
Oh, it
sure.
was lovely. It
I
was
mean,
good
there was
anime.
such a big connection for Rain in that series, and
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
the most interesting, like, I'll just go talk about it real quick. But like the most interesting
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
or like my favorite thing about that series is like it wasn't your typical like lovey-dovey romance series. It was like no,
Yeah.
it was the meeting of these two people was the benefit of their future lives. It's like they're not getting together with on an intimate or like physical way, but like on an emotional scale, it's like they learn about their life stories. And they learned about how they gave up later on, and then they
Yeah.
showed each other it's like, no, you can do better with your life, or like you
No,
can do more,
absolutely.
which is a
Absolutely, and that was lovely compared
Mhm.
to like when you see a lot of romance shows these days, and it's like, well, it's like them just getting together or them almost getting together, and then you get to episode 12 and they don't get together. That always really annoys me. But
Yeah.
but then with something like After the Rain, because it wasn't about that, and that was really refreshing to watch.
Yes.
And it was beautiful. It was just a really nice anime, and I'm really sad it was on Amazon because I find that when things are like on Amazon or Netflix, they don't seem to get the same
popularity.
attention. Yeah, same popular attention. It was like I personally think we're going back a couple of years now, but maybe only 1 or 2 years. I think Little Witch Academia would
That
have been
was
so
a
much
beautiful
better than it
show.
was.
That was a beautiful
I know,
show.
right? One of my favorites, and it would be so much better than it was if it was on Crunchyroll, or if it
Mhm.
was like if it was on like an anime streaming platform.
Yeah.
And it isn't as big as it is, and it's not talked about as much because it was on Netflix. Personally, for me, that's what I think. And Netflix are great, and they're doing good things with anime, and I really appreciate them putting money into anime.
Oh,
I
obviously.
think it's an amazing thing, but because they'll build it up as time goes on, but at the moment they're not known for anime, so
Yes.
people don't go to their platform for it, whereas they would go to Crunchyroll or something like that.
Which
And
is
so you
very
just
interesting. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
all the anime they have are really good.
Yeah,
Like
they've
all
got
like the
great anime.
Netflix owned anime like Violet Evergarden.
Oh my God, yeah.
That was amazing.
That was a beautiful series.
That was a
It was a
beautiful series.
But Netflix have got this thing, like especially this season. Now we're in the summer, and I have this real issue with Netflix because they will buy stuff. So, for example,
Oh, I
they've
have a
got,
video for that that I really
yeah.
want to make.
Yeah, well, they bought Backstreet Girls, right? Which I really wanted to see. And they got Series Jagen, I think it's called. I can't remember the name.
Oh
of it, but
yeah, I really wanted to watch
is it
that.
Series Jagen.
I read the
yeah.
synopsis like that's gonna be dope.
Yeah. Well, they bought that. So they bought that, and
Yeah.
I think, don't quote me this, but I'm pretty sure they also bought High Score Girl too. And that's a comedy anime out of Japan. So because they bought them, we're not getting them streamed internationally. So that means that's 3 series this year that we're this season that we're not seeing, which is quite a lot.
Yeah, that's a good amount,
and they're quite good ones.
That could be like
And
people's
because
tops.
Netflix Yeah, because Netflix have the money, they'll buy big series like that. Oh, also Baki. We're not seeing Baki until the August, which is great. You know, fantastic. Baki's out now. It's being streamed right now in Japan. And I mean, if you want to pirate your anime, that's totally fine. It's up to you. I'm saying this to the general public, but for me, I don't pirate stuff. Purely for tons of reasons, but also because like I'm the kind of person that would get caught. You know, the police would come around my door. I don't know if that's
because there was also like in like, you know, in the spring season there was the piano anime, and then the
and Piano no More.
Yeah, and then there was the what was it, like something Masoltan?
Yes. Oh yes. The one about the dragons.
Yes.
The dragon. We're not getting that until I think it's later on this year, maybe into next year before that gets a release on Netflix. And if they can do Violet Evergarden, if they can simulcast Violet Evergarden, I don't know why they can't simulcast everything else. Is it because KyoAni and Netflix managed to make an English dub with it as well? Is that why? Because we don't need the English dub. It's almost like Netflix don't quite understand the anime community.
No, I don't think so.
In my personal opinion. They look at anime and they're like, oh yeah, we're going to buy this stuff up, but we don't really know how the community works because we're so seasonal. You know, everything is like, okay, we've got 40 shows this season, we've got 50 shows this season, 20, 30, whatever. And we watch stuff in a seasonal way. And then, you know, some people don't. Casual people who watch anime might watch, I don't know, might wait until, I'm trying to think of an anime at the top of my head, Real Life or whatever. Like they might wait. Like for me, actually, I just finished Real Life. That's why that came into my head.
Yeah.
And I had this weird thought to myself was when I was watching it, is that I could just keep like going to the next episode. And because I watched so much seasonal stuff, it was really nice. I was like, oh man, I kind of miss doing that.
Well, the thing is, that was interesting, is they uploaded all the episodes in one go.
Yes.
And then it was like, it was a great series and I love it. But then after like a month, no one talked about it anymore.
Exactly. Whereas like, it's all about seasonal hype, right?
Yeah.
So if you could, Netflix for me kill seasonal hype. So with things like Baki and that dragon one that we were just talking about, all of that's come out in Japan at the time. So now when we get them, like months and months later, you've already killed the seasonal ride behind it.
Yeah.
So it's rubbish. It's really rubbish. I just realised I got Violet Evergarden simulcast, but I don't know if you did. It was simulcast
because it wasn't simulcast in America.
I didn't think so because my friend Sloan, she watched it all in kind of one go, and I was watching it simulcast every week. Which was great.
Was that great?
That was awesome because they also simulcast the English dub too, and I watched both just to see what it was like because I forgot her name now off the top of my head.
Violet?
The girl who played Violet. Yeah, the girl who played Violet though in the English dub. I really like her voice acting. Can't remember her name. It will come back to me. But yeah, both versions were really good. I opted obviously for the Japanese version to watch kind of every week, but going back between the two of them, being able to watch an English dub simulcast the same day as Japan is incredible. Why can't they do that? Netflix, tell me, why can't you do that with all the other anime that you've bought? Instead, we need to wait for it for months and months and months. But hey ho, I could talk about my anger for Netflix, whatever.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I felt like they were doing things right with Violet Evergarden, and now we're kind of back to square one again, which is rubbish. Compared to Amazon, Amazon at least get it, you know, they release stuff like on the day.
Because they had Land of Illustrious, which was a fantastic series.
Yeah. Although this is showing different places where we live, I watched all of that on a platform called HiDive, which is Sentai Filmworks' new streaming service. Yes. Yeah.
Which is a new thing. No one talks about it.
Exactly, and now HiDive will become bigger. I really like HiDive. I like how it runs, and I think it's a good service. And I also think it's a great thing for Crunchyroll to have proper anime competition, because it means that like hopefully, when you've got competition in the market, it means that hopefully the people in Japan, the studios in Japan will get more money because there can be a viable back and forth for everything.
Yes.
Fingers crossed. But
well, like, have you seen the thing where Trigger has a Patreon? Which is
I was on that immediately. As soon as I saw that, I was like one of the first, I don't know, 100 people. They posted it 2 minutes, and I was on Twitter, and that was immediate for me. As soon as I saw that, I was like, fuck yeah, I am going to subscribe to that Patreon.
Yeah, for sure. Trigger does awesome work. Awesome work.
Trigger is my... I want to say they're my favourite anime studio, but they probably are, because everything they've ever done, I've adored. So, yeah, and I love their art style. And
even Inferno Cop.
Well, Infernal Cop's pretty funny though, if you think about
True.
it.
It's true.
If you think about what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, would it be my favorite? No, not really. But you know, it just reminds me of crazy Japanese anime. Like,
Yeah.
who would come up with Infernal Cop? Ah, well,
For
Studio
sure.
Trigger.
But here's a question, because you've been studying Japanese for a long time now.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes. 2-3 years.
what would you say your favorite Japanese word or like kanji?
Well, like kanji. Oh my god. Let me think. Well, like my favorite Japanese words are always like onomatopoeic words. So like waka waka. I love onomatopoeic words. Although I never really use them in a lot of sentences, unless you're talking casually and speaking casual Japanese, because you wouldn't really use them in formal Japanese, which is how I speak mostly, being very polite and all. Unless I'm speaking a little bit of casual Japanese, which I do try to do. It's hard going back and forth between them. Let me think. Kanji wise. Words wise, I love. I tend to find I talk to myself in Japanese a lot and swear to myself in Japanese a lot, which I was thinking the other day, when people are learning new languages, if they do the same thing, if they talk to themselves and in the language that they're learning. Like if someone was learning English, I wonder if they try and speak to themselves in English, because I talk back and forth to myself in Japanese all the time, and just in the sense of like trying to learn and trying to learn new things.
Yeah.
But I like the kanji for like really weirdly. I like the kanji for like stones and clay, and there's a really complex. I like the kanji for road, because it kind of looks like a road. When I was learning, I feel that's such a random thing to say, but when I was learning Japanese, and initially in the beginning, I learned it all via flashcards. So
Which are
I
very
would
useful.
get a flashcard. Yeah, they're very useful. I see it from Japanese people a lot when they're learning English, whereas they'll like have lots of vocabulary, like loads of words. I don't know, like road, stone, him, her, whatever, and they'll have those and they'll flip between them. And vocabulary is great to learn, but it's also sentence structure is really important.
Yes,
How
very
to
important.
structure a sentence together, which is kind of hard. But yeah, when I was learning with flashcards, one of the things that I learned was to try, it's different for everybody, but try and find a picture in the image. So try and see something in this kanji that will make you remember the kanji. So
Almost like a
stuff-
mnemonic device in a sense.
Exactly. So it's very easy to do it with things like the kanji for eye and the kanji for month and things like that, because they're quite simple kanji. So you try and find a picture and then try and make a sentence, and then so that you remember that picture. But I remember the one for road because you can kind of see a road in it, which might just be me. But yeah, so I always like kanji that I can picture something in. I mean, as you get further down the line, like the kanji for trees is really easy. It looks like a set of trees.
Yeah. Well, like for that's my favorite kanji is forest, because
the kanji for
it's just 3 trees.
Yeah, exactly. So you can see stuff like that. But I mean, for me, yeah, I always like when you can picture stuff. But as you get further down the line to like harder kanji, it's harder to picture things in them. Where you're looking at them and you're like, oh my god, I have absolutely no idea what that says. And I think that I even when I think I'm pretty good, but even when I get further down the line, I think I'm always going to be learning. Like there's always new kanji to learn, and there's always
For sure.
new,
I mean, there's like over like 500,000 of them.
yeah. Well, they like there's always going to be new stuff to learn. Although weirdly, the Japanese don't tend to create new kanji for stuff. That's China creates new kanji for everything. But like,
Yes. Well, because they stole it.
Yeah. Although I don't know, because I don't know Chinese, so I don't know whether
Exactly.
I don't know whether they call it kanji in China. I feel my Chinese knowledge is pretty poor.
It's very good for me.
So I don't know whether they call it that. But in Japan, they'll kind of katakana words, new words that kind of come out and whatever else. Although weirdly, in the Japanese frame, I find katakana really difficult, because if you're listening to a Japanese person speak, it's hard to pick up katakana. Even if they're saying simple katakana words like fork or spoon or whatever, it's hard to pick these things up in sentences and conversations.
They just
because of
say
the
with
Japanese
such
accent.
an interesting Japanese accent.
Exactly, so it's really difficult to pick them
Like,
up.
I heard a Japanese person say bucket in katakana, and it's
Yeah.
like, wait, what did you just say? And they were like,
Exactly.
buckets. And it was like, wait, what?
And if you put that in a sentence, like if you're saying a Japanese sentence, you put that word in, your brain gets really confused, or at least mine does anyway when it comes to that. Like, oh my god, I have no idea what you're saying.
Yeah, because for the longest time, I thought he was saying like pocket. It was like,
yeah, but if you see it written down,
yeah,
it's easier because you can read it and understand it. Yeah. And the most satisfying thing in the world for me, and it's for any person who's learning a new language, but it's being able to read a sentence.
Yes,
and like go,
very
oh my god, I know
satisfying.
what that says.
Yes,
or
very
seeing
satisfying.
a kanji.
Yep.
Yeah, and go, oh my god, I know what that says. Oh my god, that's amazing. So yeah, I like doing stuff like that, which is always fun. But yeah, well, I mean, I love Japanese, love English. It's all good. I was watching Aki Diris the other day, and she does this like series where she literally sings openings and stuff. And one of the things she says in it is like, can't read the kanji, and it really made me laugh like a lot, because I was like, yeah, because it's like really difficult when you see someone that like the kanji and anything really. And,
There's
like,
some really complicated ones. So when I see it, I was like, man, that's one word.
Yeah. Well, someone asked me the other day. They sent me this image.
Yes.
From a still from Darling in the Franxx, and they were like, "What does it say on the wall?" And I was looking at it.
It's like, don't know.
Because I was looking at it going, "That's handwritten kanji," and I was staring at it for ages, trying to figure it out, because all of my kanji is like text based. Because it's easy to see on a screen and understand it.
Because there's a lot more errors or imperfections with handwritten stuff.
Exactly, because that's handwriting, right? So like it's like if I wrote something down, chances are in Japanese or English you wouldn't understand it. My handwriting is atrocious. But so I was looking at it, and it basically said, oh, hang on one second, my mum is in bed. I need to go answer that door that's just gone off. Do you mind if I just go get that door for a second?
Intermission.
Yeah, 1 second. Intermission. Sorry about that, pal. My mum is ill, so she's in bed at the moment, and I'm the only one in, except her. So
Yeah.
if that door goes off, you can just hear my dog barking, and then my mum would wake up.
What kind of dog do you have?
I have got a Cocker Spaniel.
What a beautiful dog.
No, she's gorgeous. She's really sweet. She's old now. She's like 10 years old.
Oh man, that's pretty old.
I know, right? I know. We've had her for ages, and I keep forgetting what age she is. So like my friend asked me the other day actually what age she was, and I was like, oh my god, 10. Can't believe I had her that long. Had her since she was like a little puppy. But yeah, she's very, very sweet. She's like super docile. So she'll like, she's not a really big kind of like affectionate dog, but she just like to stay by your side a lot. So it's very cute.
Very nice.
I know, very, very sweet.
Where were we?
I think about Japan. I think we're talking complex.
Oh, the handwritten kanji.
Yeah. So I was reading it, and then eventually I was like, oh, okay, obviously it means like no power, no electricity, don't use electricity. But it took me ages to figure it out, because I was looking at it like, fuck, it's handwritten. Like, how do I understand that? How do I pick that up? Because everything's just so text based. But it's the same with every language. Like someone learning English, if they saw something handwritten, it'd be very different to like seeing it as text on a screen. Yeah.
That's very true. There's some people I've seen where their handwriting just looks like chicken scratches. It's cool.
You should see mine. My handwriting is actually, it's atrocious. I don't know where I learned to handwrite anything or why, because it's so scrawly. All of my handwriting's really scrawly, and I've heard your handwriting's kind of messy. It means you're creative. I don't know if that's true. But yeah, because mine is like pretty atrocious to look at. Although I don't really handwrite anything anymore. I guess everything's so text based, and you just kind of type everything out, which is sad in a way, isn't it? It's like, because I write these, I do these like videos where I'm like writing letters to careers or to
you're just typing it, which is great.
I'm just typing it. But like if I hand wrote it, nobody would understand. Not the person who the letter's intended for, and nobody watching the video. They'd be like, what does that say? Who's that? What's that?
Well, at least you have your voiceover. At least you have your voiceover.
Yeah, that's true. Although it's questionable whether you understand that at times. Honestly, sometimes I think I talk so fast, and then I listen to myself back, and I can understand me, but I do wonder if other people can, because I do have quite a fast talking voice. So I kind of thought maybe I should start putting subtitles on my videos, so people can't complain. They're like, well, just turn the subtitles on. It's fine. It's like Japanese. It's like I can just listen to me speak Scottish.
Speak Scottish.
Which is a total other language, though. It's got its own kind of colloquialisms, and and little bits and pieces that make it its own language away from English. There's loads of Scottish words and stuff that you just don't hear in normal English language, but we would understand if you're Scottish.
Yeah. What's the here's a good question, because like since you're Scottish, how many times have you been said like, oh, are you Irish? It's like,
oh my god, do you know how often I get that? More than anything. Only online though, weirdly. So like if I'm here where I live, nobody thinks I'm Irish, but always online I just get, are you Irish? Is that Irish? Are you from Ireland? No. Scotland? No, Scottish. I'm genuinely 100% Scottish. But it's weird because if you put me, I've got a really close Irish friend called Chris, and if we both spoke to each other, you'd hear the difference immediately.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think there's more, like, Irish is kind of more known than Scottish is maybe. So when you think of Scottish, you think of like Braveheart, I think, or maybe Outlander or something. That kind of like really broad Scottish accent. Whereas mine's okay. Mine's kind of in the middle. Yeah. Kind of super Scottish kind of stuff.
It's fine.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Whereabouts are you from?
I'm just from America. Like,
whereabouts?
I'm in the East Coast.
Ooh, East Coast of America. Never been. Maybe I have. Where's New York?
It's on the East Coast.
Oh well, there you go. I've been to New York. I've been to Florida. Where's that? Literally America.
People say that's from the South.
Idiot.
It's like Southeast. It's like
Nice.
Florida's like its own thing.
Yeah.
So
I've been
hot
to
there.
New York, been to Florida, and Washington, and that is
nice.
that's the total of my my American travels. New York
nice.
3 times, and Florida once for Disneyland, obviously.
Ooh, Disneyland.
Woohoo! Does anybody go to Florida and doesn't go to Disneyland? That's my question. Like, who goes to Florida and doesn't go to Disneyland?
I don't know.
But yeah, that's all. That's Disneyland and Universal, and because they're building a
Universal's
Nintendo
really
section
nice.
in that Universal, so
Yes.
I'd like to go to.
Since you do professional editing, like what's the hardest or like the craziest thing you've had to do during like a session?
Well, I always think, because for my editing, so the way professional editing works, you've got two ways to do it. So I edit for telly. I edit television shows in the UK.
Which is cool.
Usually how editing works is you just do editing. So someone goes, here is this television show, and I want you to piece it all together. And sitting next to you will always be something called an edit producer. And an edit producer tends to write all of the voiceover that would go over things, and they structure it. So they go, I want this here and I want that there. And an editor would usually just do the groundwork and piece things together and do the effects and stuff. If there's 2 types of editors, online and offline. So if you do a bit of online stuff, you would do a bit of effects work. Whereas the job I currently work on, I do the job of an edit producer and also an editor. So the most difficult thing for me is writing for telly. So I need to write voiceover and also choose all the music. And the show I work for is a property show that relies very, very heavily on being funny and doing lots of pun work and tying things into music. So I find that it's very difficult to sometimes do that. So like to do something really, really funny music wise, like find a lyric and make that tie into a piece of voiceover that you've written to then tie into a bit of sync that somebody says, and then make people laugh. That's quite hard to do, and to do that with everything. And then on top of that, we'll get pieces back sometimes where it's like, I want to do like a cool Star Trek thing, or I want to do like I had one recently where my presenter they wanted to make it look like he was like in a 5-piece band on this stage in this old church. So we had to do that. So we had to make it look like he was on stage and he was in like a big band, and that can take quite a lot of time. And with like my editing here, like that I just do for anime and stuff, like you've kind of got all the time in the world to do stuff. So I could like, spend a week on something, but with editing for telly, you don't get that amount of time. So I've got a day and a half to cut something together, and that's to choose all the music, write all the voiceover, and then piece together a story. And so it's weird because I find it's fun, and you can do that, and it's great, but you've got to kind of be on time all the time. So I work to such a schedule, which is crazy, but I do love it. And yeah, it's great. Although the hardest thing for me in the beginning was learning how to cut on industry standard software. So, I mean, I presume you cut on Premiere or Sony Vegas or something like that?
Yeah, some.
Would you cut on?
Premiere.
Premiere.
Which is good starter.
Which is great.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, Premiere is amazing. Like, Premiere is a great piece of kit. I cut on Avid Media Composer, which is industry standard television software. And that was really difficult to learn. So when I was starting, I had to like learn how to cut on it. And that was really hard because it's so different to Premiere. I'd cut on Premiere like not my whole editing career, because I'd cut a little bit on Sony
but a
Vegas,
lot of it, yeah.
But a lot of it. So I was so used to something that was so user friendly and so intuitive, to switching to Avid, which was not at all, and it isn't. You know, the way it handles media and the way you have to cut on it is so different to Premiere.
Well, what are you using now?
I use Avid because it's because I've learned how to use it, and because I use it in work. I use it at home. Although, to be fair, all of my effects stuff, like all the effects that I make, I do that on After Effects because it's easier. Because it costs about £1,000 for Avid's kind of effects software, and who's got that kind of money?
Oh wow, that's a lot.
I know, right? So I don't have that kind of money, so I'm not gonna spend that amount on a piece of effects software when I've got After Effects, which is a very good effects software.
Yes.
And I really like cutting on After Effects because I like effects work. I suppose that's the one thing I wish I got to do more. I'm what you call an offline editor. So an offline editor pieces together everything. So they put the timeline together, they construct the story, they do the voiceover and stuff. Like, well, if you're doing my job, but not usually, but like I was saying, whereas online do all the cool effects. Well, that's how it works in telly. Whereas if you do it for yourself, you know, you do everything. So if I got a job, I don't know, cutting for a YouTuber or whatever, like a lot like my friends do, then I would do everything. I would do the online and offline. Whereas on telly, it's split up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of the way it works.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I always wanted to know about like how editing works in the television business.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, you know, there's like edit houses. I mean, my job is in-house, so I'm an in-house offline editor. So I work for my company, and I edit for my company. Whereas if you work for an edit house, because there's many edit houses, and they cut for loads of different companies. So if you were making a property show in the UK, and you didn't have in-house editors, you would outsource that to like an edit house, and then they would be cutting your property show, but maybe also cutting somebody else's daytime game show, and then maybe they'd be cutting a drama, something like that. So like there's always new things coming into an edit house, but you hire an editor, so you hire someone for how good you think their editing is, and their rates and all that kind of really plain boring stuff. But it's fun. I mean, I really like it. I'm very lucky to be able to say that I edit for telly for a job.
Yeah. Do you ever like watch the actual shows you edit, or like?
Yeah, I do. In the beginning I did. Now I don't. Now I just kind of. You become jaded or anything to it, but you're just like, right, I'm on to the next one. I'm working on the next thing.
Yeah.
You get time. I work on daytime, so I work during the day, so I never get to see my shows because I work on daytime telly. I don't know how it's split up in America, but we've got daytime shows and primetime television. And primetime is like, you know, after the watershed, so after about 6 p.m. And then you've got daytime, which is like all the stuff that plays during the day when people aren't at home from work. So that I work on daytime telly, mostly daytime telly, which is great. I mean, daytime is there's always work in daytime because they always need daytime television shows. But because of that, I never get to see my stuff because I'm always working. I could tape it, I suppose. My mom does.
I guess. Oh, your mom does?
Yeah, she's like, please tell me when it's on, and I'm like, okay. Although I always forget. I did this piece the other day, actually. I was super proud of, which was I made this story. This was a property agent. I made this story into like a big fairy tale, and it worked out really well. And my boss was like, "This is awesome," and I was like, "Thank you very much," because I didn't think it was going to get through. I thought it would get, you know, panned. I didn't think they would like it, but they thought it was great, and it's my favorite thing I've pieced together. But I like doing stuff like that. I like finding weird quirks in stories that people wouldn't usually find. I did this other property piece, lots of property, where I made it look like the two cats in the house were giving you the tour of the house.
It's like Tadakun.
Exactly. So I cut it together to make it look like that, and my boss was like, "This is fantastic." I was like, "Thank you very much. This is my weird mind. I'll find really weird things and stories, and I will make it work. I'll make them fairy tales. I'll make it look like cats are giving you a tour of a house. I don't know why, but yeah, I like doing stuff like that. It allows me to be a little bit creative and do weird things."
But yeah, let's talk about like what the other shows that ended this spring.
Yeah, let's talk about spring.
You made a video about Tadakun, which is a really great video because
thank you.
I've heard a lot of people who were like very iffy on Tadakun. Where it was like, hey, it was alright.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I really enjoyed it. Where it's like
I did too. I like in my video. I really. I mean, I don't think it's perfect. Nothing.
No.
Except the Place for the Universe. That's a perfect anime. but yeah, I didn't think it was I didn't think it was perfect, but for what it is, for being an original,
yes,
that's pretty good. Like, it wasn't taken from a manga, it wasn't taken from a light novel, it was an original idea, and I thought it was a good romance story.
I do really like the story with like Tada, where it's like he always put himself in the back and put others in front of him, but then he finally learned like it was like it's okay to be a little selfish, or to think about yourself sometimes,
Yeah, totally.
And like that scene when he was chasing the invitation in the river.
Oh, that was beautiful.
It was a very great scene. Very emotional.
That was great. I loved that scene. And the scene, my favorite was the scene where Teresa realizes that she loves Tada.
And then she tries to kiss him
in that moment. No, the one in the episode just before when they're out watching the stars, and her heart starts beating.
Oh yeah.
And the music plays and it builds, and that was a beautifully made scene. That was when I was really like, oh, this is going somewhere. This has got something. And people's big complaint about it was the fact that the romance didn't happen until later on. But my thing was like, well, it's a slow burner. It's slow and it's meant to be, and we just expect things to go fast.
Because I like it because it was more realistic. It was like romance doesn't happen all like that where it's oh, I'm in love with you. It's like no, it's like you have to experience and learn about each other, have fun, do all the sorts of things, and then
100%. That's what I got from it, and that's why I really liked it. That's why I think it was like totally one of my favorite animes of the season. And when it like something that nobody really spoke about either.
Well, it was also really on High Dive. That's where it was on High Dive.
Yeah, which is a stickler, things that get bought up by smaller companies. But as High Dive becomes bigger, hopefully, more people will adopt it and go, and we can go forward from there. But yeah, because it was on High Dive, if it was on Crunchyroll, I think it would have been spoken about a lot more. But yeah, what are you gonna do? Had a great opening though.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, such a catchy opening. I think the artist for that, he also made like a small YouTube video where he like dances to the music.
Oh,
with
did he?
With a little, with like a girl with next to him as his partner.
Oh, I need to watch that.
Yeah, it's really cute.
I love that opening.
Yeah.
I've actually now want to listen to that opening again. It's so good.
Oh, it's so good. And then the cover art for it, for the opening, it's really cute. Where it's
the cover art is beautiful.
Tada with some glasses, and he's just listening to it on some headphones.
I know. I love cover art like that because you kind of. It's a bit like did you see the cover art? The two separate cover arts for Darling and the Franxx EPs. They were really beautiful.
Oh, I don't think I've seen them.
Really they're both really good. They've got nothing to do with the anime, because all the characters are in like school uniforms and stuff.
Yeah.
But they're beautiful pieces of cover art. But yeah, they've got absolutely nothing to do with what's happening in Darling and the Franxx. But hey, what are you gonna do?
Who cares? I mean, like, obviously the best character in Tada is Nyanko Big.
Oh my god, why they never had more of that, I will never know.
No.
Nyanko Big was an amazing character. That episode 3.
Episode 3. I was laughing so much in that episode.
Suddenly, you've gone from watching this semi-romance story to now watching a cat and with this internal monologue. Brilliant.
With such the deepest voice you could ever imagine.
Exactly. And I used it in my video, but it never fails to make me laugh as the scene where it's that rule 8 seconds. If you lock eyes with somebody for 8 seconds, you're gonna fall in love.
And he does that with Cherry.
And then he jumps up, Cherry-chan, and falls in the water.
Yeah.
Classic. Made me really howl. I found that so funny. But yeah, Tada was a good anime.
Very, very good. Another one is Megalobox.
Everyone loved that. And I loved Megalobox.
I truly loved it. I think the fact that what people complained was like, oh, it looks like it's made 20 years ago. Well, that's the point. It's
point. Yeah, that's why it became popular, because of how animation is. So it allowed a bit like Banana Fish this season. I think Banana Fish has got that really kind of old school look, which is meant to have.
It has that old school feel for sure. Yeah,
exactly. Because it's an old, it's a very old manga. Not very old, but old enough. And yeah, so Megalobox had the same thing. I had a weird thing with Megalobox because I liked it, and then it took me about halfway through where I was like, okay, I really like this. I wasn't like, I was sold on the animation, but I wasn't sold like all the way until we got about halfway through, and I was like, okay, right, I'm now like hyped for this. I'm now hyped to see what happens next. Because it was kind of like I was like, oh, this is good, but like, is it really as good as people think? I don't know. But then, you know, as we got to the end, I was like, yeah, this is like,
for sure.
I'm like hyped for this fight.
I think what I liked about most is you see so many sports animes where it is based in a high school and you go through a tournament, and then, you know, you have those, you know, crazy supernatural powers or like cheesy power-ups, and it's like, no, this is like legit stuff, you know, this is real life.
The best part about Megalobox was the chance of death.
Yes.
Like, I thought Joe was gonna die.
Because they always, at the end of every episode, it says not dead yet. It was like, oh, is it gonna be dead in like a minute?
Yeah, do you mean dead? Like dead? Like, is it gonna be dead?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was like, and you really felt it. That's the good thing about Megalobox, is with every single fight Joe did, you felt like he could die. There was a real chance of that happening, and that's exciting because you feel like he's really putting his like neck, his actual neck, on the line for this sport. And the way they orchestrated the fights was really good. So yeah, I love that. And Joe as a character is really striking, even though he doesn't, like, you know, he's not got bright pink hair and he's not got that, you know, stereotypical anime look. He's got this real edge to him, and a really well designed character. I liked him a lot.
Yeah.
I liked Yuri, and the rest of the cast were good too.
I mean, the best part about that series was the soundtrack. That was an amazing soundtrack.
Beautiful. Like they could not have chosen a better soundtrack for it. And how they constructed it together was fantastic. Like, it was just so well done. And all the hip hop beats and it just fit really, really well.
All the
really,
insert
really
songs
well.
of the rapping, those are my favorite parts.
It's like you know when Devilman had all those like insert.
I haven't seen Devilman yet.
Like,
I haven't
seen
it yet.
Devilman.
No.
Oh, it's viciously violent, but yeah, that soundtrack's incredible. That stuff like Megalobox and Devilman both have soundtracks that really fit the style and the anime that they've gone for. So with Megalobox, its soundtrack really fit what it was like trying to do. And you know, you can have your normal soundtrack which kind of washes over you, whereas with Megalobox you're like, okay, I'll remember this soundtrack. When I think of Megalobox, I'll think of the fights, and I will think of like the soundtrack, and that's really cool to be able to do that. You can also buy that soundtrack. It's like, I don't know.
Oh, I'm definitely buying the soundtrack.
50 track long or something. It's huge. But yeah, I loved the soundtrack in Megalobox. Great anime from last season. We had so much good stuff last season though.
Yes,
you had Megalobox. I thought Tadagum was really good, like we were saying. You also had Wotakoi.
That was an amazing slice of lifey, you know, romance series.
Great slice of life romance. Only complaint, not long enough, and also kind of just ended.
It felt like from like two seasons ago during fall, where it was a MMO Junkie.
Oh yeah, that just.
It felt like that. It felt like that. It was like it ended really quickly. And I was like, I wanted more from this series.
Yeah, I just want to feel like I got a satisfying conclusion, which I don't think I got with Otakoi. However, I did like it, and I thought I loved the characters, and I really like it with an anime like that, where they just have a kind of small cast, and you can really get connected to the tiny cast of characters.
They're just so. I've even said this to a lot of people. It's like, they're such relatable characters. Even if you took out the part that they're otakus, they're still super relatable characters because of the way they interact with each other.
Exactly, because it's all about dialogue, right? So the conversations feel real, and that's what you want. Like, and then you add in everything else. So you add in if you add in that otaku stuff.
Yeah. Just makes it better, you know.
Mario Kart, they were playing Mario Kart, and they were reading manga, and they were talking about Fudoshis and Fudanshis, and
they were cosplaying, and you know.
And cosplaying and going to manga stores, and for people who watch anime like us, watching that play out with people who are older and not teenagers was very, very cool.
Yeah, I also loved it that they weren't high schoolers. They were like, grown up adults in office jobs.
I mean, I love a high school anime because
Yeah.
there's about a million of them, and and I'm always going to watch them because there's literally 10 or 12 each season. But to watch something that was like adults going about an adult life in
Yes.
an adult world, but still holding on to who they were as otakus is very, very cool.
Such a great change of pace.
Yeah, and it's the change of pace in that. It's shows like that kind of stand out in a season because you're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's so different to like, all the high school stuff that's out. And although to be fair, in the same frame, doesn't mean that stuff isn't good. Like I loved Comic Girls last season. I thought that was a great show, which not a lot of people saw. But I really liked it. It was funny, so funny, so funny, and so well done. But because there's so much released every season, these things just go under the radar, whereas nobody sees them. But it was a really nice little slice of life show about 4 girls who draw manga.
It was also Hinamatsuri that ended. Oh my
Sorry,
gosh. Oh.
Hinamatsuri is one of the best comedy shows I've seen in the last few years.
Yeah.
Like, I found it so funny.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
I found it so relatable. So relatable. Like Hitomi as a character, I made a video on it, but Hitomi as a character, she just embodies who I am in a lot of ways. Like she's just
You can't say no. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say no, and I'm nice, and I just can't say no to. I can't say no at all. And that's like that's in like my daily life and like all walks of life. Because I always just want to do things for other people and be nice to other people. But at the same time, when with Hitomi's internal monologue, sometimes that's me where I'm like, my god, and I can totally see her faces, and I just find her so relatable. But she doesn't really beat Anzu. Anzu as a phenomenal character. Her kind of emotional journey was just beautiful, and it was so funny, and it was so endearing to watch, and I loved it. It's a
really,
show that I
like,
really think a lot.
It really makes you think about how much you take things for granted. Like just the small
yeah,
things,
totally.
like hot water or like
Yeah.
a decent sized bed.
Yeah. And Anzu's whole journey through that show was amazing. How
Yeah.
and it's that contrast between her and Hina, and how
Yes.
they both had different kind of like, if Hina had to be homeless, I wonder how she would have taken things compared to Anzu, who kind of took it all on her chin, and she found it really upsetting, but then she worked her way through it.
Yeah.
And yeah, she obviously is now with a nice couple in the restaurant.
Yeah.
I would love to see more of Hinamatsuri. I would
Yeah.
love to see more of it.
I think Nita like imagined it pretty correctly, where she would just ravish the whole city for food.
Yeah, totally. But I loved. Hina didn't take a while to grow on me, but she wasn't my favorite character, and then by the end,
Obviously.
I really liked her more.
She's just so monotone, like so
Yeah.
monotone.
Yeah, so completely monotone. But Hinamatsuri, great show from last season. What would you say was your standout? What would you say was your favorite from the season? Like if I put you on the spot. if you had
last
to pick
season?
One. Yeah, from
I would say Megalobox, because
Megalobox.
every week I was so excited to watch the next
Yeah.
episode and waiting for it.
Yeah. And because it looks so different as well.
Yeah.
Whereas like for me, I thought that, I mean, I'm a huge Boku no Hero Academia fan.
Yeah. Did you see the newest
I love
episode this
Boku no
week?
Hero. No, because I was out at that March. So
Oh, yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
right.
Watch it as soon as we're finished, and I'll need to catch up with
Yeah.
all this anime. But I have got such a huge love for Boku no Hero, because I think it's just such a great shonen, and it's so much more and so much better than people think it is. Like,
Yes.
people love Naruto and Bleach and all that kind of stuff, and they're all great anime, but for me, Boku no Hero has everything. It's got
Yes.
everything. Everything that I want out of an anime, Boku no Hero has.
Yeah.
And another thing I'm watching, which nobody else has.
Is it Black
I'm watching
Clover?
Black Clover.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
I am too.
Are you watching Black Clover?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about one thing. Did you see last week's episode? This week's episode?
The beach one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. How bad was that animation?
Bad.
It was atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. And I'm watching this episode going, Black Clover, you have me sometimes. I'm there with you, and I'm ready to defend you, sometimes.
You had me when you were fighting the guy with the light powers and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That was cool.
You had me there. And you know what? There was some really great animation scenes, and that's fantastic.
I feel like
But
they
how
used
can
all
you
of it
drop
there.
all of it. They used their whole budget there. But then you drop me to this beach episode where Noelle doesn't even look like herself in half the scenes. Like, they feel so clunky, and out of place, and there's only so much that dialogue and story can carry you, because if the animation looks as bad as it does, it can be really jarring. And I found that beach episode, as much as it was a piece of filler, I wanted to be a little bit better animated. That would have been nice. And oh yeah, I've got such a love-hate relationship with Black Clover. When it ends, I've got a big video idea on it.
I have an idea for it too.
My love-hate relationship's mad with it. I don't know why I'm still watching it. I'm still trying to figure that out.
That's me too. That's me too. It's like, how am I still watching this?
Do you also find that you're still watching it, but it's not like you're still watching it and you're watching the next episode a couple of weeks later, or maybe binging? No, you're watching it every week.
Yeah,
like
me
you're
too.
watching it every Tuesday.
Yeah.
And you're watching each episode as it airs, and you just find yourself like, why am I doing this? Why am I watching every episode as it airs? And like, I'm not missing any of them.
Yeah, like when you like write it all out on paper, it's like everything that Shonen tried to take out, but all in one. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, it's like, but at the same time, you know, I mean, I hate to admit this, but I do really like it. Like, I do like it. There's a part of me that obviously likes it enough to watch it continually.
Exactly.
Like, I'm still here.
Exactly.
What we are, like 39, episode 38, 39, I can't remember.
I think we're at
something
40. I think we have 40.
Yeah, I think we're at 40. And I think we've got like 10 episodes to go or something, because there's 11, because there's 51 episodes.
Yes.
And my friends who read the manga, I've got 2 really close friends, and they read the manga, and they know where the anime is going to end. And they talk about the manga like it's amazing, and I can totally see that. But I'm watching the anime, and and I'm still watching the anime, and I don't know why I'm still here.
Yeah.
That's my problem. Like, I don't know why I'm still watching this show. Why? Why am I here? Why am I watching this every Tuesday?
I don't know.
Why am I invested in Black Clover? And I will say that Asta gets better as a character.
Yes,
like, he was
sure.
annoying, but now I'm kind of endeared to him. He's not my favourite. Gordon from the Black Bulls is my favourite, because they all ignore him, and I think he's very funny. The little quiet goth in the corner.
Yeah.
I think he's like super funny.
I think my least favorite character though in that series is the guy with the sister complex. He just talks about his sister too much.
You know, anime's all got its weird quirks, right? And you know, we all love it, and we all have a joke about it. But you know, sometimes it's a bit too far, and I find his stuff with his sister a bit too far.
A bit
like,
too far.
You know, he's getting a nosebleed and stuff, and I don't think it's a sexual thing, but at the same time, can you not? Can you just not? I'd like to skip over all your stuff. I couldn't, because you were so integral to the last arc in the show.
Yeah,
so,
with the reflecting, that was pretty.
With the mirrors and the reflecting, and the battle with the light dude. He makes me a little bit uncomfortable. I would kind of like him not to be there, but what are you gonna do? He seems to be a main character. But yeah, I'd like to skip over his stuff, because I find that quite. I do find him quite creepy.
Yes. There's
Can
also
you hear that beeping?
What? No, I don't think so.
No. Okay, that's good.
I don't hear any people. What else was that ended last season?
Last season, what else did we have? What else? I got Steins Gate's still going. Are you watching Steins Gate?
Oh my god, yes.
Do you know, I have this thing about Zero, right? I love it, and I am so sad every week. Every week I feel sadder and sadder for Okabe. I just get so sad for him.
For sure.
And it just makes me, I genuinely adore Steins Gate. I think it's a phenomenal series.
For sure.
And I caught up with Steins Gate in order to watch Zero, and I'm so glad I did.
And I did too. I caught up like maybe 3 months ago, and it was like, why did I not watch this series in the first place?
That's how I felt. And it makes me really sad that we don't get a lot of Kurisu either. Like, where is she? Where's my girl? I loved her so much. It's like one of my favorite characters.
Well, she did.
That's true. And then, you know, you've got Daru and everybody else, and it's just such a great show. And I'm really glad, obviously, it's like 23 episodes long, so we get some more of it this season. And it's really exciting to watch it, because as we get closer and further in, we get to see how Okabe realizes that he needs to send the text message to his past self. Yeah. So that's the whole point of this show, right? So I cannot wait till we get to that.
I mean, last week's episode, when we found the room where Mayushi's daughter's was, it was insane. That
was so good. So good.
Yeah.
I loved that one a lot. yeah, so Steins Gate is such a great anime, and if no one's seen it, they just need to go watch it. What else did we have? We had loads of really rubbish stuff that I watched that I don't know why I kept watching. Like
what?
One thing was, like I watched 3D Kanojo Real Girls. I don't know why I kept watching
I watched that too. I actually finished it somehow.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Maybe it was because I had nothing else to watch on Tuesdays except for Black Clover.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe that was me too, because weirdly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Weirdly with Kanojo is that animation not good. Not good at all. My God.
Not that great.
Don't know why. Don't know where your budget was. Probably not very high. But as we got kind of further into it, it got better as a show, and I kind of got where they were going with it.
Yes.
You know, like he's very awkward, and I think he clearly had lots of like kind of anxiety issues, and he didn't really know how to speak to people. A lot of social issues, which I find really interesting.
The run-of-the-mill otaku stereotype.
Yeah. But the way they did it was quite good. Not amazing. Could have been better.
Yes.
But I did like it, and it got greenlit for a second season, which is interesting.
Yes, it did. Which I was like,
we'll
really?
get that soon.
Yeah.
Which is, of all the shows that I've seen in the last couple of years, we greenlit a second season of 3D Kanojo. Really? Okay. Well, fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked it. Like maybe is a very strong word. Maybe more.
Didn't hate, but didn't love.
Didn't love it. Didn't hate it. Wouldn't recommend it. Wouldn't be a show I'd be like, yeah, you should go watch 3D Kanojo. I wouldn't
it's
say
just
that.
like just average in a sense.
Yeah, it was average. It was average, completely average. But it wasn't the best romance show this season. I think probably on that scale it goes Otakoi, then Tadakun, and then I guess 3D Kanojo, because there was about.
I'm just a sucker for romance series. Is that your favorite genre of?
Oh, I love romance series. My favorite is slice of life. Anything. I watch anything that's slice of life. I watch anybody's life.
You watch anybody's life.
Yeah, literally. I love slice of life shows because they can be anything, and it's such a broad kind of like term.
Yes.
And I could be watching like this season slice of life. I could be watching, I don't know, manga girls creating manga, and I could be watching horse girls racing, like
Oh yeah, you actually watched that.
Piano playing people, like I could be watching all of this stuff. That's all and under the slice of life genre. Yeah. And I think that's fascinating. It is my favorite genre. I watch a lot of slice of life. And I love romance shows. I'm a sucker for romance shows. Absolute sucker.
Same here.
If it's got romance in the tags, I'm gonna watch it. Even if nobody gets together in the end, I'm still into it. I'm still shipping. I'm shipping whoever I'm shipping, and it's happening in my head. What's
here's a really good question that I always like to ask people. It's like, what is a genre of anime you would, or like an anime you would think is the best to introduce someone to anime? Because I wouldn't do shonen, honestly, in my opinion.
Would you not do shonen?
No, because in my opinion, the pre-connotations of anime where it's like it is the shonen anime or the mainstream anime where it's like epic, super cutesy. It's like, no, I want to show you like a drama series or like a psychological series where it's like an amazing story being told just through animation.
Let me show you an ecchi. That's what I'll do. I'll give you an ecchi.
That's it. That's gonna get you.
Who anime fan is. Yeah. Like, let me show you this ecchi show.
That's all. That's also another precondition. It's like everything's so sexual. It's like, no, that's that's like 5% of all anime, honestly.
It's so true. They're like, you look at what comes out in a season. You look at older anime, and it's like the anime I just finished that I think I was telling you about off this, or maybe on this podcast, was RE Life, which was back in 2016 when Yuri on Ice was airing. And I didn't see RE Life because I was just obsessed with Yuri on Ice.
I mean,
but I was watching RE Life, and I finished it yesterday, and that is like a great example of an anime that isn't your typical anime. It had a great premise, like the idea of like, have you seen it?
No, not yet. I don't think so.
Okay. So it's the idea. So what you do is you take a pill, and then you can revert back to being like a teenager. And this guy does that, and he relives like his teenage life, but like.
Oh wait, isn't that Real Life?
Yeah, Real Life.
Oh yeah.
Real Life.
I love that show. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant show, right? So, and I didn't see the twist at the end. Don't know why I didn't see that twist. It was pretty obvious, but I was watching it. Was it yesterday when I finished that?
Yeah.
And I gasped into myself like, oh my god, I didn't see that coming. Why? It was so obvious.
Like the Black Girl actually being an adult too, which is very shocking.
Yeah.
Somehow very shocking.
Some are really shocking.
Like
Unexpected.
it felt so obvious after I knew. I was like, wait a minute, yeah, she's like really awkward all the time, you know?
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, there you go. But yeah, that's an anime that I think is like, you know, it's still got all the things that make it an anime,
Yes.
but it's got a great premise and great idea. And things like what was I watched something. Oh, I finished something else the other day, which was the Flying Witch. Did you ever watch that?
No.
So it should have been boring, right? But it really wasn't. It was about this witch in training and how she went about her like day-to-day life. Like, it was very mundane, but oh my god, was it the most relaxing show in the world. And that's an example of something that you could show to somebody like, this is anime, but it's not anime the way you think it is.
Yes.
Because, you know, there was nothing sexual about it, there was no ecchi, there was no shonen protagonist or big drama. It was this lovely show about this witch who was just learning how to be a witch. And I think that's my favorite thing about animation or anime, is that you can make a story out of anything.
Yeah.
Like, you can just make a story out of anything. And that's also why I love the slice of life
I think
genre.
the series I would show, which is like I would say something that's like 24 episodes or 12 episodes. I would show March Comes Like a Lion, like the first season.
Yeah.
And I would tell them like, this is an amazing story, and look at this animation. It is beautiful.
I mean, March Comes In Like a Lion is one of those like sleeper series that people know about, but they've not really seen or watched. Like, you know,
it's so underrated. It's so so
incredibly underrated. I mean, that's how I feel about Rakugo, Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju. I feel like that about that series, because that's amazing, and it's about Rakugo, which is like Japanese storytelling. And I love it. I think it's an incredible series, but nobody's really seen it. It's such a great example of what an anime is without being an anime. Amazing. And it's because of how the storytelling's done, and the characters and the animation and the kind of twists and turns and how it goes through. I just think it's a phenomenal show. It's one of my favorite series of all time. The first series. The second series is amazing as well. Perhaps maybe even better. But I really love the first. And it's something that not a lot of people have seen. But it deserves more attention than it's really got. I would maybe show people I'd maybe show people Your Lie in April. I thought Your Lie in April was
an amazing series, yeah. I wanted to show one of my friends Your Lie in April, because she's not a big, you know, anime. She doesn't really know what anime is, but like she's a big music fan. I was like, this is perfect for her.
Oh yeah. Do you know what else is really good on the music frame? Well, one of my two things. So you got Your Lie in April, which is a great music kind of anime, but very sad. Honestly, I'm still not over that.
Is it HBK?
Still not over that. Yep, not over it. And then you've got Kids on a Slope. Have you ever seen that?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I've heard that.
That is 12 episodes long, and it's one of my favorite, not only music animes, but just animes. Oh my god, Kids on a Slope is so underrated, and I don't know why people haven't seen more of it. It's phenomenal. It's about a group of teenagers, and they learn, and the animation, we're done here. The drum scene, the opening drum scene of a Kids on a Slope, you will be blown away, because
really?
That's all just 2D animated, and it's unbelievable.
Okay.
Another one is I love Sound Euphonium. That's like one of my favorite shows ever.
Such a good.
Both series.
KyoAni, always clean.
Can they do anything wrong, KyoAni? I don't know.
No.
I don't know if they can.
No.
I think they're pretty solid.
KyoAni has like some of my favorite stuff, man. Like, it has Violet Evergarden. It's got Kona Katachi, which is undoubtedly now my new favorite movie.
Yeah. KyoAni do some just absolutely stunning stuff.
Yeah.
But they're also like one kind of like anime company in Japan who really pick and choose what they do.
Yes.
So, you know, they don't do, you know, something every season. Sometimes they do like, maybe they've got 2 shows a year, maybe 1 show a year.
Yeah.
They don't like force everything out.
But it's all worth it.
Trigger are the same.
Yeah.
Where they're like pick and choose, and then it's really worth it when you see it. Unlike A1's so huge that they've got like 3 shows.
They just do everything. They just do everything.
Yeah. And then you get quite surprised when you see A1 attached to something that's like really good. Like A1 did Otokoi.
Yeah, which is very surprising. It's like, you guys did a great job with this show. Why aren't you doing this great of a job with all the other shows?
Yeah, all the other shows you've got. Come on, A1, what's happening? They are like, I think they are the biggest animation company though. And then they've split off, and now they've got Cloverworks, because Cloverworks are doing the Persona 5 animation.
Yeah.
And they did Darling in the Franxx with Trigger. So they've kind of got other branches too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, those three, we're back on the music thing, but those three would be my music. Maybe music anime would be a good thing to introduce people to, because it's so good. Like
Maybe that's why.
stuff like
Yeah, that's why I really wanted to watch Piano Boy, which I have been watching it on other sites, which I don't do very often. But when I really, really wanted to watch something, I go to those sites, and I don't regret it.
I think Mother's Basement said that quite frankly. It was like, if a company isn't going to make what you want to watch available legally, then sometimes you have to just do it and go find it illegally.
Yep.
Because what else you going to do if you want to watch something?
Yeah.
But yeah, Piano no Mori was bought by Netflix and will be out, I think they said at the end of the year, for like UK streaming, or for worldwide streaming outside of Japan. But is it good? Do you like it?
I really enjoyed it, honestly.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people's, there was like a lot of like 3D animation for like when the person is playing the pianos, which makes sense because it's a lot of dexterity when playing piano.
Wait till you watch Kids on the Slope. You'll be blown away. None of that's 3D. It's unbelievable. And that's I find stuff like that amazing, because it's like, well, we haven't resorted to 3D animation
For sure.
Although, to be fair, 3D gets a lot of bad rap, and I don't think it's bad in some circumstances. Depends on how it's used. Like this season in Hanabado, that the animation where like they've used some 3D animation for the shuttlecock.
Oh yeah,
like,
beautiful,
really well.
beautiful,
because it's used subtly, and like you can, if you were just watching it, you might not be able to tell it's fully 3D, but it's used really well, and that's when 3D works, when you can utilize it and use it in that way. It doesn't work when you do things like, I forced myself to watch Sword Guy on Netflix, which is awful anime, never see that, but the 3D animation in that was so forced that it was so jarring, and it kind of made my eye twitch when I was watching it, like, why have you got this weird 3D character coming out of nowhere? Whereas 3D can work, it can really work. It can work well. Like, you had Land of the Lustrous, which was beautiful, unbelievable, so good, and it was all 3D, and it worked really well, and it did what it wanted to do, and it did it really good. And I liked, not everyone likes it, I liked Ajin. That's 3D animation, and that was a little bit clunky, but I did still like it. I ended up really liking Ajin, both series.
If you want to talk about bad 3D animation, have you seen Golden Kamuy?
Oh, okay. See, here's the problem with Golden Kamuy, right? The manga is amazing. It's one of the best manga in the last few years. And it's like this awesome tale of it's like a big cooking adventure, but also a big treasure hunt, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, I really like the anime, honestly, and I'm excited because it's getting a second season really soon too, in the fall.
No, the anime's brilliant.
Yeah.
But the 3D animation is not. Like, the weird, realistic fire they have, that's so odd.
I don't understand, because everything else about the on animation is pretty clean.
Yeah.
But then they add in 3D animation. That's like really like eye off.
It's a show of like how stretched studios are. Like, we have to add 3D animation, and because we can't animate this scene, we don't have enough time, or we don't have enough money, so 3D animation's cheaper to do, which is a shame. Which is when you don't see 3D animation, and I might have probably wrong on this, but I don't think I've seen 3D animation in anything that KyoAni has ever done.
No,
I don't think I ever have.
I doubt it.
And I doubt they would, because they take their time, so that means that they can animate everything normally.
For sure.
With 2D animation. But you don't see a lot of 3D, whereas everything else really does have 3D animation. Like, there was no 3D animation in Darling in the Franxx, but in SSSS Gridman, I think it's 4 S's, SSSS Gridman, which is a new
I've heard of
anime
it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it's coming out this season from Trigger, and that, in fact, shouldn't it be out already?
I don't know. I haven't caught up on my anime yet. I've been busy working.
But Redman, like, that's got 3D animation. You can see that from the previous, which is fine. And if it's used well, it works. But when it's not, it can look really jarring. It can look really kind of like off-putting. And you're watching something and you're like, oh, it's 3D animated. Like in the new... Oh no, wait, KyoAni have used 3D, because in the newest series of Free, which I watched the other day. There's a
yeah.
little bit of 3D in there, a little tiny bit of 3D in there.
But it doesn't, it's not super obvious.
It's not super obvious. But like, I always feel sad at that because I'm like, well, clearly there wasn't enough time to fully animate this scene, so we had to create 3D versions of it.
What's really weird is when like when I first started watching Free, I never knew how gay it was until after like I finished.
Okay.
After I finished watching, and then like half a year later, I was like, wait a minute, this show was hella gay.
No, I have such a funny thing about Free. It's like I love Free so much.
Yeah.
But
It's got all the muscles.
I had the Internal Summer DVD, and whenever I opened up my DVD cover, people saw that, so I was like, why have you got this weird, like Eternal Summer is just 4 shirtless guys basically,
Yeah.
with their swim trunks on, so it looks
Hot.
very gay. Very hot, very hot. But it was really funny. I found that hilarious. And I love Free, although it is gay, but they never really play on it too much. I always want them to
No,
play
you
on it a
just
little
feel
bit
it.
more.
You just feel the gay.
Yeah, you just feel it, and I'm like, well, just take it a step further. Just make it a BL or something. Like, just take it that bit further. You might as well. We're here now. We're 3 series.
No,
in.
they're smart about it. They're only teasing you to make you want to
know,
watch even
exactly.
more.
Exactly. And you're like, oh man, I just want them to be together.
Okay, maybe the next episode.
Yeah, maybe. I know. You're like, maybe the next one. Maybe the next one. Then it never happens.
We got introduced to a good amount of characters though.
Yeah,
amount of
we
new
did.
characters.
New characters as well, in that series, which is great. I mean, Free's great. It's a really good sports anime. I mean, I kind of wonder how much they've done now. Like how much more can we do with these characters? Are we now just following these characters because we like them, or is there more to tell in their story? But I guess we'll see with season 3 what ends up happening. Because like with Haikyuu, which is one of my favorite sports anime ever.
Haikyuu.
So good.
I have a
God,
friend, who like adores Haikyuu because she was a volleyball player
Yeah.
in high school, and she adores Haikyuu to like an extreme measure. And
Like Haikyuu is so good. Like
Yeah.
series 1, good. Series 3,
Better.
great. Series 2, great. Series 3, the best. Series 3 is outstanding
Oh, yeah.
in animation
Oh, yeah.
and storytelling and how everything about it. Just see the final episode or the second
Yeah.
to final episode.
And what I like is they made it 10
Oh, man.
episodes, and they could have made it
Yeah.
12, but they made it
Yeah, they
10
could've.
to give good pacing.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't stretch it out, which was great. So good. That's such a good series. Such a good sports series. And it's definitely something that I still think about. I still think about Haikyuu a lot. Like I do think. It's
I mean,
so
I
good.
just really love sports anime because like you get so invested with all these teammates and characters, and like you
Yeah.
feel the emotions that they're feeling, and it's crazy.
Yeah. In fact, to be fair, you throw me back to that question of like, what's my favorite genre? Sports is pretty close up there.
Yeah,
which
me
is weird
too.
'cause I'm not a big sports fan. but
No, I don't like
will-
sports, but I love sports anime.
Yeah, I will literally devour a sports anime. Like if you tell me, like I think so, we've got 3 airing this season. Hanabado, sorry. We've got Harakuna Receive, I think it's called that. The beach volleyball one.
Oh, that one,
Um,
yes.
And then
The fan
what
service
else?
one.
Well, kind of. Who knows? I haven't seen the latest episode, but who knows? It's pretty much a beach episode. Just
Yes.
12 straight beach episodes, and
Yeah.
who doesn't want that from their anime? eh?
Quality stuff.
Quality stuff. But yeah, there's those 3, and then I think there's another sports one airing. Well, you've got Captain Tsubasa, which is still going. I think that's like really long. And then you've got Zuma 11, which is still going, even though it's only airing in Japan and not airing in the anywhere else.
I don't know.
But yeah, you've got all this. You've got all these shows, all these sports shows, and I will, if it says sports in it, I will watch it. Doesn't matter what sport it is, I will be watching that sport show.
Yeah, I fully adore Kuroko no Basketball because I that's the only sport I actually play. I like playing basketball, and it's like I fully adore it, even though I know it's cheesy with the power-ups, cheesy with the
Yeah.
teammate believing, but I love every second of it.
Who doesn't love stuff like that though? Like sometimes, especially when you get so invested in these characters,
Yeah.
and you win, or even if they lose, you really feel it as well. Like
Yeah.
you just you get so excited for them
Yeah.
and so happy for them. It's great. I love sports anime.
I mean, the
Because
best
it's
thing,
not that-
the best thing Kuroko did is with the last movie they did, it was literally just
Yeah.
like an all-star game.
Yeah. And it's the animation in it and stuff is amazing, especially when you go to
obviously.
movie form, because then they can take the animation to like next level.
Yeah,
and you're just watching this like, wow, that is incredible. But yeah, anything sports related, I will pick up and I will watch it. And the summer is always full of them because you know we're in summer. Summer's all about sports for some reason.
For some reason. Yeah.
For some random reason. But yeah, we also.
I mean, there was also Yuri on Ice, which was a sports series, quote unquote.
Using inverted commas, sports. maybe sports. But no, I people didn't really like Yuri on Ice, right? But I really liked Yuri on Ice.
I really liked it. I think I just liked it so much because of there was that one episode when he finally did in the earlier episodes when he was doing the free skate to get into the competition, and he was messing up and all this stuff, but you know he tried his hardest, and like I feel like there was like a under meaning was like I'll try as hard as I can to get to where I am, you know.
Yeah, totally. And the dialogue was great, and I mean there was a little bit of complaint about the animation, but I watched back those skates. They're great. Like I think it's well animated.
Well, it won the Crunchyroll Awards like all the time.
Yeah, I mean it won everything, which you know a lot of people complained about, which is fine. You know, like maybe it shouldn't have won everything, but it was a great show. And if it hadn't have won everything, then they wouldn't have changed the award system. Even though Boku no Hero won everything last year, but still.
The only thing I'm not too crazy about is that Yuri got Best Boy when it should have been Victor.
Yeah, obviously. Victor's like majorly Best Boy. And the dub version of Yuri on Ice is great because they got like a guy with a Russian accent who plays Victor, which is really
honestly
cool
I didn't like that because it just the way Victor acts, it seems to me he should have like a higher pitched voice and not like a Russian-esque voice.
Maybe. Although because it was Russian, I was like, well, that's really cool. I like how that you've gone for that.
I mean, it is great that they gave like Yurio and like Victor like the Russian accents, which is cool.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Not my style.
Yeah, I found that quite fun. That's the kind of like way that they went with it. But yeah. What else we got? We've got like got 2 horror shows this season as well, which is interesting.
Yes. There was Happy Life, Sugar Life. I haven't seen Happy Sugar Life. I want to see.
I've seen a lot of tweets about it though. About either people really like it or some people really don't like it. Like it's quite messed up. Happy Sugar Life is what I've heard. Quite
There's also
messed up show.
something.
Of Death.
Yeah, Angel of Death. Is that it?
Angel of Death. Angels of Death. Angel of Death. I think Angel of
There's also the Alice one. Something Alice.
I don't know.
The Kid with the Scythe. It's very interesting. Like I saw the first episode.
Is that not Angel of Death?
Is it? Yes. The girl with like blonde hair.
Yeah.
Angel of Death. Yeah. There's that one which I saw the first episode and was like, I like what I saw, but I don't know what I saw. It was like
I totally get that. Same. Where I was like, well, what did I watch here? What are we doing? Why?
But I liked it. Yeah. But I liked it still.
Same. Yeah, same. I am like, it's going to be something I'm going to keep up with, which is weird because I'm not a horror fan. I'm a bit of a scaredy cat. So, but I'm quite excited to be scared by it. Weirdly though, I quit. What's it called? Mahoujo.
Shoujo site, yeah, Mahou's.
Yeah,
Mahou Shoujo site, yeah.
Which is, I always think about that, but Mahou Shoujo site, yeah, that one. I quit that because
I quit that really fast.
It was too edgy.
It was so edgy. Yeah. And the first episode was like. The manga writer was like, what can I give this girl the worst life possible? Here we go.
But there was nothing redeemable about it. I mean, maybe it got redeemable maybe later on.
I don't know.
You know, in the opening episodes, you're like, oh man, this is so... I feel so sad for her.
Yeah.
But also it's so edgy that I just can't watch this. So I had to quit it. I think I quit it around about... I gave it 4 episodes, I think.
I gave it 2.
Did you? I gave it 4. I was like, right, we'll give it to 4. We'll see how it goes. We give it 3. Let's take it one step further. And then wasn't for me. It wasn't worth sticking with. I wasn't obviously. I both weren't fans of it. But yeah, you know, I think it's nice that we've got 2 horror shows this season, so it'll be good for people who like horror. Because we don't see a lot of that. A lot of horror stuff that goes about.
Yeah,
it's kind of like not an unknown genre, but you know, it's just not a kind of heavy. There's not a lot of anime released with horror tags on them.
Yes.
So it'll be good to see if they're actually scary. And if they feel creepy, and if you end up enjoying them. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see how Angel of Death goes. I'm gonna watch Happy Sugar Life, see how that goes. a bit scared because of the stuff I've read, so we'll see.
For sure,
I'm
it's
glad
like
I'm
she'll
gonna
kill
watch it.
anyone to defend her. It was like, ooh.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad that I'm gonna watch it during the day. That's
Yeah.
how much of a scaredy cat I am. Let's
Oh.
watch it when it's light outside and there's no darkness, and not before bed.
Get too freaked out. It's like, oh god.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah, I
this
think-
thing with like Japanese horror compared to like American horror, or like it's just like
Yeah.
a Western horror, where it's like it's mostly used as jump scares. It's like that's like what they
Yeah.
use most. But like with Japanese horror, they use like something that will like get under your skin and crawl under and like
Yeah.
make you freak out for days.
They also have such weird ideas too. Like
Yeah.
Parasite is such a weird idea for an anime.
It's a great anime
Um,
though. Great.
Great anime, but still freaks me out. Like, sometimes I think I'm gonna grow an eye out of my hand or something. Like, like, ugh, really freaks me out. Sometimes I like twitch when I think about it. But
Yeah,
like,
have
it's
you,
that kind of stuff's quite
Mm.
scary.
Have you known the manga creator Ito Junji? Like the
No, I never read the
he's
manga.
he's a crazy like horror dude, and his like
Oh,
his
really?
art style is super detailed but super horrific. It is
Yeah, I can imagine.
extreme stuff. Like just look up some stuff and like you'll
Yeah, I
understand.
will. I will.
Um,
I love stuff like that though, like people who've got such kind of crazy styles. But because I'm
Yeah.
not a big horror fan, I tend to watch the horror that people are really talking about. So I watch Parasite.
yeah.
that
Well,
was-
it's not, I wouldn't say it's really a horror. It's just like a drama series where it has like gore
It's
esque.
creepy. It's creepy though, and that's what creeps me out. Like the idea of like growing an eye out of my hand, or like.
I
you
didn't
know,
find it that
it's-
super creepy. I don't know. Maybe
Did
I'm
you? I
just...
did. Creeps me out.
What else came out this
Uh,
season? There's Hana Baneka, which is
Yeah,
Really
which is
great
good.
animation.
Although,
Uh,
it's a good one this season, which everyone seems to now be really talking about, is Cells at Work.
oh
That's
yes,
Funny,
truly
and
funny, cute,
so original,
and also like
and-
educational.
yeah, educational, and it's fun. It's funny. It's like I was just saying, it feels original. It's such
It was
a great
such
idea.
a sleeper series, honestly.
Yeah.
Cause like no one was
Yeah.
no one was hyped about it. But then the first episode came out, and it was like everyone was like, "Oh my god, watch this show!" And I watched it,
like-
and I was like, "Wow, this is really good."
Yeah, and it's by David Productions, who did JoJo. So
yeah,
you know,
David Production,
It's
one of the few
they're
things.
like a
they-
top tier production company.
Yeah.
I also love how they're called David Productions. That
Yeah.
still makes me laugh to
Yeah.
this day. But yeah, I'm excited to see how that goes forward, because I think it's such a cool idea.
Mm.
And I think it'll be really good. Have you seen any of How Not to Summon a Demon Lord? I think it's called.
I saw the first episode.
Okay, watch episode 2, and let's see where you
does
go from
does
there.
it change my mind?
No. Not
Okay.
at all.
Because all I'm
Episode
thinking
2.
is this is like a Konosuba version of Overlord.
Yeah, but like Konosuba's funny, and it's hilarious, and yeah, it's good. Whereas like
This
I
one,
was summoning a demon lord,
it's not.
and it made me a little bit uncomfortable, which
A lot of
which,
etchy.
you know,
lot of
yeah,
etchy.
which I don't mind. I kind of like a bit of etchy every now and again.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I love a bit of etchy, but sometimes it's a bit too far, and I think the first 5 minutes of the second episode of How Not to Summon a Demon Lord was a bit too far.
I'll watch a little bit of it then.
Yeah, watch a little bit of it. Tell what you think. It's like
Hmm.
me and my friend Jojo. We dropped Island after the second episode.
I watched the first
just-
episode. And it was like,
Right. Well, the second episode, I
Even
mean,
worse.
that's gonna be drop series. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got this weird thing about lollies where you can take it a bit too far. Kind of took it a bit too far. She looks like a child. Let's not do this. And then let's just drop this series. So yeah, Island did that where with that weird big-haired lolly girl.
mm.
So I just kind of had to ditch that.
I mean, we do see a clip of her like actually developed and look like a lady. Like, I guess in the
Yeah.
future.
Yeah, still.
He's so like
actually,
depressed about this. Like, yeah. well,
Yeah, maybe. I wanted to like it because it was done by Feel, who just did Hindu Matsuri. So I
Yeah.
thought it's gonna be great.
That's why I
Smart.
watched it. It was like, oh, it's done by Studio Feels. I love Studio Feels.
Yeah.
You know,
and
they've
then
done a lot of
what-
stuff I like Tsukigaki Rei was
Yeah,
one of my favorite
They're good
romances
studio.
now. God.
yeah, they're a good studio. That's just a shame that with Island. I mean,
Yeah.
Island weirdly, it does have an interest. Like in episode 2, they talk about why they're on the island, and the
Mhm.
story behind everything is quite interesting. And then it cuts to this bit with the lolly, and I was
Yeah.
just like, well, I'm done. This
I feel like with the story it's a good story, like background and all that stuff, but I feel like they
Yeah.
just executed things incorrectly.
Yeah, no, totally. But maybe it'll get better. Who knows? Maybe I'll need to pick it back up. Maybe I need to give it the 3 episode test, and we'll see how we go.
There's also Banana Fish that's coming out this season, which
I love Banana Fish.
saw the first episode and I was like, oh, I'm already hooked. I love the mafia-esque feel of it, and people always say it's already super gay off the first episode. Like I can see it, but it's like it's not crazy,
No,
gay.
but like Banana Fish, the manga, like there's like
It's
loads
gay.
of like connotations of it being gay. How is it though? I don't know. And one of the manga, I can't remember which one it is. There's like talk of Eiji and Ash having girlfriends. So I don't know how gay it is, whether it's just gay by perception, or whether it's gay because there's a lot of like,
I mean, it is a shoujo.
Ash, yeah. So, but episode 2, amazing. Definitely like worth watching. I think it's going to be like one of the biggest shows this season because the manga's great, and it's such an old manga that finally got an anime adaptation. So anyone that's read the manga,
It was so
really
out of nowhere
excited.
though. It was just like, it's like, here it is.
Here's Banana Fish. Although I've known it was happening for months because when I heard about it, and it's by Mappa, and that's amazing. Mappa's an amazing studio.
Yeah, for sure.
So super exciting, and it does look great, and the animation at the end of episode 1 was fantastic with the fight scene. Awesome, really awesome.
Yeah.
Totally one that I think people should definitely be watching.
There's also that comedy series. It was like Asobo or Hasobi.
That is a ultimate example of terrible synopsis.
Yeah.
And it ends up being hilarious. Did you see it? Did you watch it?
I watched the first episode and I was like, this is right up my alley.
It's so my humor. My humor.
It's so good.
and it's funny. It's so funny. And it like when I was reading the synopsis, like on the
synopsis is stupid.
It's so I'm like, this girl doesn't know English, and this girl doesn't know English, and that girl. What's the point in this show? Well, I guess because I need to watch it, I'm gonna watch the opening.
You know what though?
Oh my god. So good.
You know what though? I didn't read the synopsis because when I was looking at the scripts, it didn't have a synopsis yet. But I just looked at the art style and the poster. It was like, oh, it looks alright. I'm gonna watch it.
It looks like a slice of life show.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not that. Looks like it's going to be a cute girls doing cute things.
Yeah,
it's
for
not.
sure.
It's really not, and that's what I love about it. That it's not what you think it's going to be. So yeah, that's definitely one that I think people are going to really enjoy as it goes forward. So I'm excited to see how that one continues.
For sure.
You also had Jasan Dropkick. Did you see that? Did you watch that?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, that one's weird. That's like a weird demon devil girl who like looks like a snake. And
I saw the poster for
it.
that and it was like, nah, I'm gonna skip that one.
Yeah, the whole premise is like she drop kicks demons and stuff. Anyway, the opening episode was fine. There's a lot of fourth wall breaking, a lot of it, so it's okay. But know, whether people weirdly it was picked up by Amazon, which was an odd show for Amazon to pick up. That was my main thing. That's really odd. They've picked up this strange comedy show out of Japan. But yeah, we'll see how that one goes. We'll see if it gets any better. We'll give it one more episode.
Yeah, for sure.
But it didn't sell me straight away. I wasn't like,
Did you watch the antique Sherlock Holmes one?
I did. Surprisingly okay.
Yeah, surprisingly okay.
Surprisingly okay. Not,
for me though, I just like. I made a joke about it to friends. Just like I was like the guy who wrote the novel was like, I need an idea. What if I make Sherlock Holmes who looks at antiques and Dr. Watson is a girl?
Oh my god!
Got it.
That's brilliant. Yep, that's it. Sold. Make it Japanese. Sold. Not like it's ever been made before. Yeah, it's surprisingly okay.
He is like Sherlock Holmes in a sense.
Yeah, yes, he's 100% like Sherlock Holmes. Oh my god, even his kanji, even his name, Holmes and stuff. But Holmes,
Holmes.
but it's okay. Like I think I'm gonna. I mean, I'll definitely give it another episode.
Yeah, I'll give it like an episode or two more to see how fresh it is.
Yeah, I mean, do you not think that the main girl though? I don't know if you saw it last season, but the main girl looks exactly like the main girl who is in that Breakfast for Bed and Breakfast Spirits anime that aired last season. That's still airing this season.
I don't think I saw that one.
Did you not? Well,
No.
that's airing it's a 24 episoder, so it's airing this season and it's also aired last season. And she looks identical to her. So when I was watching it, I thought, oh, it's the same person from that show. But I
just,
didn't
change locations.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, she's now in Japan. She's not in another world. So here we go. But yeah, I mean, the Holmes one, it's fine. We'll see what happens with it.
Yeah.
Whether it's going to be like amazing going forward. Did you see Planet With at all?
I don't think so.
No, definitely worth a watch. Definitely give it the opening episode. Got loads of 3D in it. However, understand why, and it looks like it's might be decent. Who knows? I don't know whether it's going to be. It's about an anti-hero, really. So you've got all these superheroes, and you've got this anti-hero, and about how he wants to fight the superheroes of the world, and why, which I won't tell you because that's a spoiler. But you know that it's very interesting that we're following this like anti-protagonist that's not like a good guy. So yeah, that might be good. But you know, it needs a couple more episodes before we find out if it actually is good or not. But yeah.
Was it called Planet With? Wait.
Yeah, Planet With, weirdly. Don't know why yet. Don't know why it's called Planet With. But loads of stuff came out yesterday and today. So, you know, there's still so much that we've got to see this season. What's gonna be like on top, what's gonna be great. Like you've got, I think it's called Starlight or something. Shoujo Starlight or something like that. Which is on High Dive, and that is by Kinema Citrus, who made Made in Abyss. So that might be good. Don't know. Think it's a bit of an idol show. Not quite sure, but the animation looks beautiful. So we'll see if that one's any good. That came out yesterday, so I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Okay.
That'll be a good show. Giving you tons of stuff to watch.
Yeah, for sure. There's that. Okay. Boop, boop.
So much anime.
So much anime. And then, so I haven't watched the Overlord, and then you need to like the first season of Overlord is actually good, but then the second season, it was very interesting in a sense because like they gave a lot of world building of like the world he gets transported to, which in theory should be interesting. It wasn't interesting.
Interesting. That's interesting itself. Because like it's a bit like, you know, when something gets so far in, like, you know, I'm about to start. For some random reason, about to start the Fate series. After all this time, finally starting the Fate series. But Overlord's like that for me. Whereas we're now 3 seasons into it, and I've got no idea how I'm going to catch up with it because there's so much of it now. But it keeps getting another season, so I feel like I really should watch Overlord. And I don't have an issue with isekai. Like isekai can be really good. Like I loved Konosuba, and I really like Re:Zero.
Re:Zero was great.
So Overlord should be good. So I should watch it. I should definitely give it a go. But we'll see. We'll see when I end up doing that. We'll be on like season 10 by the time I get around to it. Oh, well, no, it's not an isekai. I was going to say How Not to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon. That's a good anime. I like that. But
I liked it too.
That's
it's very controversial if you like it or not. Everyone's just it's either decided.
I liked it. I mean, you know, it's got its typical anime etchiness in it, but I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I love when they make light novel into anime and keep the title. Like How Not to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon.
Such a long
great
title
for a show.
Such a long title.
I also love those because you can just drop them into sentences, like into normal sentences, but you're actually saying a show. How Not to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon. Yeah, make a sentence out of that, even though it's like an actual title of a television show or an anime. Like How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. That's such a long title as well. You could have called that something else. But I think it was a light novel, and light novels always tend to have these big, long titles for some reason. I don't know.
For sure. It's very interesting. Like, I mean, like Re:Zero has a really long title in the sense of like, Re:Zero starting life in another different world. Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody ever uses the full one. Always just Re:Zero, which is a good show. I do like Re:Zero. They finally dubbed that as well.
It's after a long time they finally dubbed it.
A long time. It's a bit like I mean, things always get dubbed when they're gonna do a DVD release of it. If like Funimation or Sentai had bought it, because they just released 2 are going to be the dub cast for Made in Abyss. And they sound good. They sound decent. Whether they'll be really good or not, we'll see. Because Made in Abyss is like one of my favorite. In fact,
I just hope they keep as good as like the voice acting, because like in the voice acting in so many scenes was so important for like the impact.
So important, and it's so beautiful as well. Like beautiful, but also terrifying.
Especially like in the scene with the arm, like that needs extreme good voice acting.
That needs like insanely good voice acting, like from both parts, from
Yeah.
Rico and Reg. That seems amazing.
Yeah.
Made in Abyss is a phenomenal anime. I'm glad it's getting a dub because hopefully more people will see it.
Yeah.
Maybe casual people who watch anime, rather than people who watch it all the time like you and I, might pick up Made in Abyss, and I think it just needs even more attention than it's already had. Even though it won Anime of the Year, it needed Best Girl, Best Boy, everything. It needed all the titles, everything,
Yeah.
every one of them. I loved it, so it's definitely like my favorite show from last year, 100%.
For sure. Because it was such a dark quest. Because no one was hyped. It was the same thing for like
It's because it was on
Banana
Amazon
Fish.
too.
Yeah. It's like no one was really
Yeah.
talking about it, and then like it came out, and then everyone was like, "Holy shit!"
It's the same with Princess Principal. That did quite well, ish.
Yeah,
That
it
was
did.
good.
I need to watch that. Still.
That was good. That was good, and it's actually better to watch when it's fully aired because it jumps in different like times.
Mm-hmm.
So you watch it all kind of chronologically, but one episode might be a couple of months later, and the other one might be like a year later or whatever. So it jumps back and forth.
Very
So
interesting.
it's probably better to watch it as a kind of fully aired series than it was to watch it week by week. But I got into Made in Abyss and Princess Principal around about maybe 3 or 4 episodes into its run, because then I got High Dive because I didn't have Amazon or Anime Strike, even though that's gone now.
Yeah, it's
but you
gone
had to have
now.
Anime Strike to watch
Yeah.
those shows.
Yeah.
So luckily, like we had High Dive, which showed them in the UK, which was really good,
Very nice.
because otherwise I would have missed them, and they're such good shows.
Well, anything else you're watching? No.
What am I watching? I'm watching obviously everything this season. I'm actually scrolling down the list to see if there was anything else.
Oh, Mal, so useful.
I know, so useful. Although,
And then there was that
it's still
time it,
not
like,
fully
shut
functioning
down.
at the moment.
Yeah, there was that one
Yeah,
time it
it's
shut
still
down.
not
And
fully
I,
functioning though.
yeah.
You can't go into any of the forums and stuff like into any of the Mal articles yet, and I use them all the time for stuff. So I'm so gutted. What am I watching? Is there anything on this?
It's a good question.
Apart from, we've obviously spoke about everything really.
it's a good
And my off-season one will be Fate Zero. That is what I'm starting. I don't know how it's gonna go. We'll see. It's all on Crunchyroll. Gonna give it a go. We're gonna see. All I know about Fate, right? All I know about the Fate universe are these 3 things. There's a character called Saber. I think she doesn't like swimming. Not sure. Seen some guests. Think she might be afraid of water, or she can't swim. Don't know.
She's based off
Second.
of King Arthur.
Is she? Oh,
Yes.
there you go.
'Cause she has
there's something else
Excalibur.
I don't know. There's something else I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a Holy Grail. Also
Yes.
know that.
Yes, there is.
That. And then the last thing I know about Fate is there's a character called Rin, and she's an ultimate tsundere, and that's all
Yes.
of my knowledge.
Yep.
That's everything I know about the Fate series.
That's a good
So
basis.
we'll see. It should appeal to me. It should be something I like.
Well, I
So,
started
I'm
yeah.
excited.
I started off watching Fate Unlimited Blade Works, and honestly, like I'm not too lost. Like it's still like an amazing series. Like, but I definitely want to go back to watch like the Fate Zero, which is like everyone's like that's the one you should watch first, which I will.
That's what I saw on my tweet the other day. They were like, do Fate Zero, then do Unlimited Blade Works.
Unlimited
And
Blade
then
Works
can I go
is
from there?
beautifully animated though. Like
That's on Netflix, right? That's the one that's on Netflix.
I'm not 100% sure.
Who knows?
I watched it a really long
So-
time ago.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to watch it and to actually finally catch up with like this elusive series that everyone's seen that I just haven't seen. So we'll see. Because when something gets so far ahead, though, I kind of
Exactly.
I'm like, oh, how am I going to catch
Well,
up with that?
that's like the same thing when people talk about like the Monogatari series. It was like, I need to watch
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah. The Monogatari series is another one where you're like, where do I start with the Monogatari?
Well, it's 'cause,
series?
like-
where am I?
Because there is like an actual order you should watch it chronologically in a sense.
Yeah, there is. But it's like because there's so many. Like when Onomotogatari was airing, the one from 2 seasons ago, maybe
Yeah.
last year, that was like praised so highly, and I hadn't finished the original Monogatari, so I couldn't watch it. But when I have finally caught up with that too. All these big series. It's like when you finally catch up with them, it'll feel great. Like when I finished Steins Gate, I was like, yes, I did it. I finally caught up with the series that everyone talks about.
Now I can watch Steins Gate Zero.
Yeah, I can watch Steins Gate Zero. So, but Steins Gate only had 25 episodes, so
which isn't too bad. It's not too bad.
Which is not too bad at all. Whereas now I'm getting to Fate, I've realised Fate's got 25 episodes, and then I've got Fate Unlimited Blade Works, and then after that there's another Fate whatever that's just came out. So a lot of Fate to watch, a lot of Fate. But we'll get there. That'll be my off-season one. I hope to finish Fate Zero by the end of the summer. We'll see. We'll see. Depends on how much I stick with this season.
Yeah.
Because obviously there's a lot of stuff I like. There's a lot of good stuff airing.
Yeah.
Which all airs on a Saturday and a Friday. So catching up is hard.
I mean, if you keep like a good schedule for it, then
I know.
I think you'll be fine.
It's like every like Tuesday you've got this, and Wednesday you've got this, and Thursday you've got this. Can't miss a day, otherwise you get just behind, and that's awful. I hate getting behind on anime.
it is bad because like there's times where, for me, I've had a lot of times in anime where I watched like a really really good episode. It was like, I need a break. I need to do something else than watch anime. Like I feel emotionally exhausted.
Yeah, that's what happened to me with in the first series, in the first half of Darling in the Franxx. That happened to me 3 times. I was like, I can't watch anything else. This is just too good. And it happened to me with the third last episode of Boku no Hero. There, the big All Might fight.
I definitely had that. I also cried. Yeah,
I cried. I was shaking. I found that just one of the most phenomenal episodes of anime I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's gonna stay with me for a long time.
It's definitely made its mark in history, for sure.
Oh, 100%. And like it wasn't about the fight, it was about everything else.
It was the meaning of the fight, you know?
Yeah. It was all of that. And the voice acting was phenomenal.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Such a great episode. Yeah, I had to not watch anything after seeing that. And yeah, through episode 15, episode 13, and episode 4 of Darling in the Franxx. All of those. I had to not watch anything after seeing them because I really liked them. And then A Place for the Universe. I mean, I don't think I'll ever see an anime quite like that.
You love that show like it's a kid.
I adore that show. It means so much to me. Like,
I definitely truly love the show because it's just I have it written in my script for the video I'm working on, but it's like everyone will say that they'll do something in their life or do something crazy. Yeah. But they always say, "Oh, I'll put it off another time," or they just never get to it. But these are high school girls who actually went to Antarctica. You know, it's like these are normal girls just like you, but they did this. So like
Yeah. And it's believable, weirdly. How it feels so believable in something that shouldn't be believable.
Exactly.
That's what's amazing.
Exactly.
And Kimari's kind of like desire and like willingness to go to Antarctica along with everybody else was something amazing. Like I adore it. Like it really means a lot to me, and it's going to take something incredible to take it away from being anime of the year for me. I think for me personally, it's anime of the year. There's been a lot of great anime since it, but for what it means to me, I just don't think it's toppable for me. But we'll see what happens. I mean, Megalobox was great. All these things come close, but do they really beat like A Place for the Universe for me? I don't know if they can. And I can't wait to rewatch it. I'm giving myself a little bit of time before I rewatch it again. But I think when I rewatch it, it will still be as good as the first time I saw it. Such a good show.
And I mean, you made like a lot of videos on Place for News, but also like a lot of videos on Darling in the Franxx. You were so emotional about the series, and then all of a sudden, like it's like something happened to like either the story they wanted to tell or like I just feel like, in my opinion, I feel like they could have gotten the same ending if they and they could take out the aliens. Like, in a way, they could have written it in a different way.
I think I said that in my letter to Nishigori, where it was like, you had me on everything. You had me sold on everything. For the first 15 episodes, I was there with you, and I loved it. And I was honestly, I had 3 videos planned for my final video for Darling in the Franxx.
Yeah.
And one was Darling in the Franxx, the making of a masterpiece. The other one was a love letter to Darling in the Franxx.
Yeah.
And we were getting to the final weeks, and I dropped the masterpiece one because it's not a masterpiece. I've thought it was going to be. Really genuinely thought it was going to be.
Mm.
And then it couldn't be a love letter because I didn't feel the same way as I felt for it with like A Place Further in the Universe and other stuff that I adore, all older series. So it couldn't be that. And I wanted to be honest with it. I wanted to be like, okay, well, this didn't go the way I wanted it to, and it could have been better, and it needed more time. It needed more episodes. Like I think you would have been sold on the alien thing if there was more episodes leading to it, that we'd got a better understanding of it.
I think my least favorite episode though was when we got the backstory with Dr. Franks. It was just it was just so much spoon feeding of backstory that it was like,
yeah, and that was a real issue because it hadn't done that before.
Yes.
You know, that I made a point of that about its slow world building, and it's world building in a sense that like it only tells us what we need to know. So all of that could have happened slowly throughout the series rather than all in one episodes. So yeah, I agree with that. That wasn't the best. And you know, I mean I still love Darling in the Franxx. I mean, I've got 2 02 figures that will be in my house in December when they get released.
oh, you mean like the figure that's coming out in like I think January where it's like zero. Oh, dude, I want to buy that so bad.
Yeah, I got the 02 one, and
I was really like, it's only $100.
I mean, it's nothing. It's nothing.
I am going to a convention this August, so I'm hoping there's some good figures.
Yeah. I mean it's great, and I will always love Darling in the Franxx, and I think
I do too, you know. I think, you know, everyone's just like after those episodes it's like, oh, it's the worst series ever. It's like, no, I really enjoyed the story they were telling before all that, so like I'm still giving it really good marks, you know.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it wasn't a mecha show, it was a love story.
It was a drama, you know. It was more of a drama.
It was a drama show.
Yeah.
And that's what it was, and it was good, and it wasn't, I mean, you know, that's the problem with seasonal anime, is that, you know, you've got these first 15 episodes which are awesome. Like, I thought the beginning half of Darling in the Franxx is one of my favorite kind of like series, just how they built everything up, and I thought it was going to be this big masterpiece, and then we don't get that at the end, which is really sad for something that I thought was going to be incredible. And it's hard to admit that, of going like, okay, well, this series that I really hyped up isn't actually as good as I thought it was. But at the same time, I still like it. I'm always going to still like it. I'm always going to still want to watch it. And I can't wait to revisit it. It's something I can't wait to do. I'm going to revisit it in maybe a couple of years time, and see if it
still holds
any
up.
better.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, if it holds up, but also if it makes more sense watching it rather than week to week, watching it as a whole. And I love 02 as a character. I thought that she speaking a little bit kind of goody two-shoes towards
No, I never liked Hero though. He's just too protagonist-y for me.
yeah, like a stereotypical protagonist character. Yeah. And you know, there was really good points of the series, and I hope that Nishigori gets to do other good stuff. And I'm sad that maybe it didn't go the full way that he wanted it to. I hope he got to make the anime that he wanted.
Hopefully.
But you know, maybe in the future there'll be an OVA, maybe there'll be a movie. It's much bigger in Japan than it is here. Like,
really?
it was interesting to read what the Japanese thought of it compared to the Western audience. That happens all the time.
Yeah,
whereas like people in Japan were really kind of like for it and loved it. And because they understand there's so much Japanese symbolism in Darling in the Franxx, and so much, like the way it's told is such a, not a stereotypical way of telling a Japanese story, but like so Japanese, and it's not really written for the West, and so there's that, which is the big difference between like how we consume anime compared to how the Japanese do. So they liked it more, and we tended to kind of like shy away from it towards the end. So yeah, I always find that interesting with stuff like that, especially Darling in the Franxx. It was just, you would read through the comments on like on their Twitter page, and I was like reading the Japanese comments of like how much they liked it and how much they were enjoying it and how much they were scared for the ending because they didn't want 02 to die and whatever. And whereas like with the West, it was like, oh, I don't like how this is going. The aliens come out of nowhere, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was fun. It was interesting to read that and see how different that was. I find that really fascinating, how we consume anime so differently to how Japan does.
Yeah, it's very true. When like you see like what's most popular in Japan and then compared to like America, it's like totally two different series.
Totally different anime. Like
Yeah.
they don't. I'm not saying they don't like Cowboy Bebop in Japan, but you know, it's not like one of their favorite animes. It's like doesn't really reach a lot of big top lists. Same with Samurai Champloo and things like these things tend to be more popular in the West than they do in Japan. So you know, we have different styles and different tastes. But you know, all anime is good anime. Well, not all anime. There's some pretty bad
There's
stuff.
some bad
But there's some pretty bad anime out there.
But yeah, but with that said, I think this is a really good time to stop the podcast. I mean, it has been an honor to have you here, Isla, and like
Not a problem. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, for the
Sorry if I talked too long. I feel like I just talked for ages.
Yeah, for the last few minutes, plug yourself, like, you know, talk about what's coming up in the future, get people excited.
Cool. I do anime videos on YouTube, obviously, and I have got a really cool Steins Gate video coming up, which will be out in a couple of months. I'm going to do my breakdown videos, so we'll do a breakdown video for the summer. That's going to be cool. That'll be out next week. That should be out next week, maybe a couple of days after next week. That'll be great. And yeah, we've got loads of anime content coming out. There's loads of stuff I want to talk about, things that have kind of been playing on my mind lately. I've got a big video, 2 big videos I've been working on for a long time. A lot of research, so we'll see when they come out. But they're kind of like to do with the anime community and the anime industry. So they'll be good. And yeah, so I do kind of like discussion stuff, big emotional stuff. A lot of my stuff's quite emotional. I kind of try and hurt your heart a lot with my content. I hope to make you cry. That's my intent. But yeah. I put a lot of effort into my editing as a big thing for my channel. But
everyone go check it out.
And thank you very much for having me, Ray.
Yeah. Thank you. Like, I'm a big fan of your content.
No problem at all.
Yeah. Like, check her out. Her editing is like top tier stuff. Like, she deserves all the love she can get. And
thank you very much. Thank you very much.
More. But that's it. Goodbye.
Bye.